Hello there, you beautiful sales superstar. Are you ready to make some cold calls? No? You're feeling nervous? Well, butter up buttercup, because we're about to turn that dialing dread into cold calling cred. Let's go! The reality is that cold calling, it is scary. It's shitty. It's the reason why a lot of people will never ever work in sales. And anyone who tells you that it's fun or good or they love doing it is either a liar or a psychopath. Even I, someone who has made hundreds of thousands of cold calls in their career, many successful ones, will sweat more than a politician on a lie detector test if you tell me to make a cold call and I haven't made one in a while. It is a nerve-wracking experience. It activates our primal, instinctual fear. Why does something as simple as picking up a phone and tapping in some numbers and calling a stranger create such a strong physical fear? Because it goes against everything that we've been taught our entire lives is socially acceptable. We're cold calling strangers and interrupting them in the middle of their day. And humans have literally evolved to follow societal norms and get along with our group, because back when humans needed our survival instincts, the ones that we still have today, before we had houses and abundance of food, warmth, we depended on our group, our pack, to survive. And by breaking social norms, we risked being excluded from those groups, being on our own, where the chances of survival were much lower. So when we talk about breaking those societal norms that we've been taught our entire lives, don't interrupt people, don't be rude, our survival instincts are going, don't do that. That's bad. Don't upset people. Avoid conflict. That fear, if we let it win, takes control of us. It causes us to not pick up the phone and make a dial. Or it causes us to procrastinate on picking up the phone and making a cold call. Even if the fear of cold calling doesn't entirely paralyze us into not making any cold calls, being nervous on the phone directly hurts our chances of having success while cold calling people. Making each dial like a cat trying to avoid getting into a bath isn't helping us, because a successful cold call requires you to sound confident, informed, worthy, friendly, not nervous, scared, angsty, and subservient. That emotion of fear directly hurts our chances of sounding like someone worth talking to our prospect. You need to at least seem calm, collected, informed, worthy to get the attention of your prospect. And then you need to have a clear, collected, calm mind to ask the right questions, handle their objections the right way, actively listen, avoid talking yourselves out of a meeting. So how exactly can we stop fearing this and start making the most of it? First of all, no, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. I don't know who said that quote, but it sounds smart. Unless someone picks this up and throws it at you, then it cannot physically hurt you. When you feel that fear, recognize that it is fear of something irrational. It's a rational fear. It feels like you're in danger, but you're not. The second thing is, recognize that when we're afraid and we're anxious, we're often thinking about the worst possible outcome. For cold calling, we're thinking, what if this person gets really angry? What if they're really mean to me? What if they're so angry that I'll cold call them, or I do such a bad job that they call my boss and tell them to fire me? Well, as I mentioned, I've made a lot of calls in my time. And I'll tell you that the vast majority of times when you make a cold call, that's not going to happen. Instead, the three much more likely scenarios are these. Number one, they don't pick up. That's going to happen most of the time. You can leave a voicemail, or you can not leave a voicemail. Number two, they're going to pick up, you're going to have a brief conversation, and they're going to politely tell you that they're not interested. Or number three, they're going to pick up, you're going to have a great conversation, you're going to book a meeting, or they're going to refer you to someone else. The fourth option of someone going nuclear, getting angry at you, being really horrible to you, is such a tiny percentage of how most calls go. So instead of thinking about the worst possible scenario that can happen when we pick up the phone and call someone, why don't we think about the best possible scenario, the one that's much more likely to happen? We didn't get into sales because we were thinking about the outcome of being rejected and being talked down to, people being mean to us. No, we got into sales because we were trying to think about the best possible scenario of making lots of money, of making sales, making commission, helping clients, being fulfilled, having financial freedom, building generational wealth, being able to buy that new car or house or whatever it is you want. So stop thinking about the bad things that can happen and start thinking about the good things that are much more likely to happen. Positive thoughts, positive outcomes. The third thing you can do is actually know or believe in the value of what it is you sell. If you believe that your product or service can help your customer solve a real problem and has helped other people like them, believe in that value. I recently heard a quote from a gentleman called Mark Akers, who is one of the co-authors of this book, Problem Prospecting. He said, the people these days in modern society, where we don't get many phone calls anymore, are actually more afraid to pick up a call from an unknown number than you are to make a cold call. They are the ones who are accepting uncertainty when they pick up the phone. You're the one in control. People don't really get that many cold calls these days. So if you can call someone with a really good reason, a really thoughtful reason where you've done your research and you know you can help them and you're working with people just like that, well then you have the opportunity to actually delight them. Make them think, wow, this is the best cold call that they have maybe ever gotten. Isn't that freaking awesome? That's exciting. That's the opportunity that you have, and you're the one who has total control of whether or not that happens. It's all in your control. So remember, you're not in real danger. Stop thinking about the least likely worst possible outcome of a cold call. Believe in the value and the reason of why you're calling someone. And finally, you're gonna freaking hate me for this one, but you gotta practice. Like I mentioned earlier, if I don't make cold calls for a while, I feel nervous going back to the phone. But if I'm calling every single day frequently, I feel competent and I feel confident. The more you do something, the better you get at it. The more it becomes part of your reflexes, the less you worry, the more equipped you feel to handle whatever people throw at you. You gotta cold call frequently, often, every single day if you can. And the best way to get good at something is just to practice, practice, practice. Last but not least, there are the short-term hacks. These are things you can do right before you make a cold call to feel real, real good. The number one, you're gonna stand up. Changing your physicality is going to change your mentality. Smile, move around. Once you're feeling confident, it's time to use those ears. Find a song that makes you feel invincible. For me, that's Thunderstruck. Did you know that science has proven that you sound 73% more charming when you're stood up and smiling? I don't blame you for not knowing that, because I made it up. But didn't I sound confident saying it because I was smiling and standing up? Listen here, you charming bastards. Stop overthinking it. Embrace the fail. You're in control. Success is the art of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's Winston Churchill. He beat the Nazis. Who cares if you mess up? It's a phone, not a cobra. It's not gonna bite you.